Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to shorten and fireproof our septic mound vents. So what I got to do is dig this out. I got to dig enough out so that I can get a saw in there and cut it off. And I'll probably put a 12.5 degree elbow on there so it's coming up straight. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll just go down the way it is because it's kind of level with the ground here, and just shorten this down with a splice. We'll see what it looks like underground. Last year, I think Natalie hit this one with the mower. Well, this one was above ground, so when I fixed the cap down there, I shortened this one down. And what I got to do on this is just put a new cap on there, and I need to fill in the ground a little bit and seed this, get it down a little bit lower, but this one should be fairly easy. I have plumber's grease on here, so the cap is easy to come off. That was smart thinking of me. So this one will be real easy. Just got to put some dirt here, some seed, and a new cap. This one has to be lowered. Then it comes to these two over here. Both of these need to be lowered, and they need to be angled so they're coming straight up. Then these are going to be covered by them big clay flue pipes, because this area is going to be prairie grass and it'll be burned every 3 years or so. And you can see the scorch marks on this. This last year I covered these with 55-gallon drums, but I've tried to keep these watered so they didn't burn like that, but the way I'm doing it now, they're not going to get burned at all. So let's get started. I think we'll start with this one right here. If it's like the last one, this is just a piece of pipe pushed into the ground. So all I'm going to have to do is dig this out a little bit so stuff doesn't fall in there. Cut this off right in here somewhere, push it into the ground, and then put my clay pipe over it. Okay, we lucked out on this one. It's the right height, so if I put the dirt back in the hole and put the clay pipe over it, there'll be enough clearance so that this cleanout will be under the top of this. At some point, I'm putting a saucer, a clay saucer, over the tops of these upside down so it looks cooler. And on the vents, I'll actually be spacing it up a little higher so it can actually work as a vent. Okay, let's get the soil back in the hole, get this clay pipe over the cleanout, and that's it for this one. All these is to mark the location of these cleanouts. This is the actual cleanout. This does not need to be on there at all. Okay, that's going to work beautiful. Now for this one, I really don't know what's underneath this. If this is a loose pipe like the other one, and there's some kind of a vent on the smaller pipe. So let's dig it up and find out. Okay, on this one, you could see the landscape fabric here. So my guess is that this landscape fabric is connected to the pipe with a hose clamp, and the pipe from the septic field, the vent pipe, just comes up into this wherever and is an open pipe in there. We're going to find out real soon. What I'm going to do is cut it, probably about here, and then cut this top off and connect it with a splice. Then I'll be able to see better what's inside of there once I get it cut. And I do believe I can push it a bit more straight so that the clay pipe will fit better on it. You know, just fill in this area right here. Yeah, that's my plan of attack. I'll use my oscillating tool, get this cut off, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to proceed just as I said. It's possible that the pipe that's inside of here, if I'm correct about that, it's possible that that pipe can just come up into the clay pipe and the vent will work like that as well. Let's get this cut and see what's in there. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to, I should be able to do it okay. Come on, where are you? I don't want to cut the pipe that's in there, if there is a pipe in there. Okay. You can see down there, get rid of some of these cobwebs. You can see the gravel down there, nice and clean. And then there's a bolt that must be some kind of an anchor or something, so you can't pull this out of the ground. And like I said before, this landscape fabric must be strapped to it with a hose clamp. So I can go a couple different ways with this. I can just put a splice here and just a piece of pipe to bring it above ground, because my clay things are going to act just like a vent. All this is an air space under here to allow air to come out of here. I guess this vents the whole field right through the rock. That's pretty interesting. So I don't really need this on it, but I can just put it back on there. Cut this down and then put a splice or a shallow angle. I don't know if it really wants to be on an angle like that. Yeah, maybe if I put a 12.5 degree angle on it and then just come up yay high with a chunk of this and then put my clay over that. Yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. Okay, well, I thought I had all kinds of elbows and stuff, but it was all 3-inch. But I can dig this out a little bit back here and get this dead straight up and down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use a splice. This is the only one I could find. Hopefully I can find another one for that one over there. Otherwise I'll have to run to the store. But let's get this cleaned up, get this cut, and get this put back together, and we'll get the clay over it. These two are by far the most important because I'm going to be planting this area tomorrow and I want this stuff done. I don't want to be kneeling in here and goofing around after this is all planted. All right, let's get that cleaned up. Okay, this is the level of the ground, and unfortunately I didn't bring a tape measure with me, so I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to want to come up about that high. Whatever that length is right there, I'm going to cut off my vent pipe and I'll be off to the races. Alright, I'm all done with these. I'm just going to level them off a little bit and then clean this area up. But I ran into problems with this last one here. First problem is I got this piece of pipe from the neighbor. This is 6-inch pipe, and I was hoping to use this. What I need is kind of like those. I need something to go around the vent, but this is just way too tight. What I need is an 8-inch pipe, or an 8-inch coupling is probably what I'm going to do. A coupling would be about that long, so I'll just cut this so that this is a little bit below the ground and the coupling goes around it to give it that airspace, and I'll level out this dirt. Then this one should be done. And like I said, I just got to add a little bit more dirt on this one and put that new cap in. Well, I'll put the new cap in today, but I'm kind of dead in the water. It's Sunday. All the little hardware stores in the local town are closed, and I'm not going to run to the big town just for that stuff. I'm going to be running there tomorrow, and I still got to finish up my list and do a bunch of other stuff. So I'm kind of dead in the water today. Well, let's get this cap on. We'll get this cap on, and then we'll shut this down, get cleaned up, shut this down, and then I'll pick up that stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to have over an inch of rain, so I won't be finishing this up for maybe 3 days, something like that. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. All right, that goes like that. Beautiful. I don't know how she hit this with a lawnmower. This has been in place like this for a year now. I fixed this last year this time. I'll put a link to that in the description below. I fixed this. This was leaking way down there. Interesting video. But once I get that dirt leveled off in here and get this reseeded, this one should be good forever. And once I get that other stuff for this one should be good to go as well. But that's going to have to wait for a couple days. Okay, so here's the deal. I got my 4-inch flange, and they only went up to 6-inch for their PVC stuff. I believe anything over that is likely for apartments or something like that, and you would have to get it at an industrial supply house. This is 6-inch. So what I did was looked online, and I found an 8-inch flange for ductwork made out of ABS, which is like kind of like this stuff, but it's black. And this is 8 inches right here. It looks similar to this, probably about the same height, and it has a flange at the top, which is perfect. I ordered that this morning, but it's not going to be here in time. I got to get this done today. So what I'm going to do is dig that out, get that spliced a little bit below ground level, and I'm going to use this as kind of a form. I'll put this over it and then backfill up to this and then yank this out. It's going to make a little bit of a mess, but it should keep the dirt roughly where it needs to be. And then when that flange gets here, I'll get that put in. And this is about what it's going to look like. You can see the edge of the flange here. And then down in the bottom, I'm going to put landscape fabric and then put a little bit of pea gravel down there. And then the ground will be flush with the top of the flange, and you'll have a little bit of grass growing there. And the vent itself will be just below the top of the flange. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm going to have to dig that out and put it in the wheelbarrow because I believe I'm going to have a bit of extra soil. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see, because I need to level that area off a little bit as well. So let's get digging. Unfortunately, I need to dig a pretty big hole to get in there and cut with my oscillating saw. So it's going to be a little bit messy, but we'll get her done. Okay, just like the other one, we have nice clean gravel down there. A little bit of PVC dust on it, but that's not going to matter. So let's get that cleaned off, get this splice on. It's just going to be a real short chunk of that, but it really doesn't matter. Show you where ground level is. Ground level's right here. Plenty of room for that. We're going to try to keep that just below ground level. And like I said, there's going to be an 8-inch ring around that, so we have airflow. Okay, let's get this splice on there and we'll get this done. Okay, all done for today. As you can see, or I don't know if you can see or not, but it slightly dips there, but I'm out of soil. So I'm gonna have to come back when I get that ring to put around here. I'll get this to the new level, put that ring on, and then get this seeded, and it'll be done. I wasted a little bit of seed down there, but no big deal. So I believe I'm going to end the video right here. I will show you this again on another day, but I really need to get this video wrapped up. It's going to look a lot like this. I have to come back and add a little bit of soil on this one as well and get that seeded. It's kind of sunk in a little bit. This one had to be dug out way down there. It was a big old hole, and like I said before, I'll link to that in the description. That was a pretty interesting video. It was leaking out of here big time. We had raw sewage leaking out of this big time, and I got that fixed. And while I was at it, I lowered it down to this level. On second thought, I'm gonna get this grass mowed, leave the bucket on there until I'm done with that. Then I'll take the bucket off and I'll end the video there. All right, got the grass cut and drove right over this with no problem. So when I get that collar, or whatever you want to call it, I'll get that put in, and I think I'm going to add, right around 1 inch of dirt to this, and maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of dirt around the edge of that one, and that'll be it. And as I said earlier, with these, I just got to get those clay saucers, and they're going to be turned over and put on top of these. This one's going to be spaced so it works as a vent. This one's just going to be turned over and on top of that. And in a couple of years, this whole area is going to be burned again, and I won't have to worry about these at all. I've always hated those pipes sticking up out of the lawn. You got to trim around them and cut around them, and they just look really messy. This flush look is a lot better. Like that one, you can't even see at all, the one that was done last year. And this one will be the same once it grows in. Really nice. Again, I'll show you this stuff once it gets grown in. It should look really nice. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.